I call this meeting of Central Florida Facilitator Toastmasters Club 9958 to order. And I'd like to start with introducing the thought and pledge for tonight, Charlie Bombolier. Let's give it a good Memorial Day is America's unofficial kickoff to summer, but it's also the day to remember those who've given their life in service to our country. They sacrificed their future so that we could enjoy our present. This separates its purpose from Veterans Day, which is in honor of all veterans, not just those who did not come home from our nation's war. Remembering our collective past is very important. Here's a quote to get you in the right frame of mind to remember the spirit of this national holiday while you enjoy it. When the soldiers came home from Vietnam, there was no parades, no celebrations, so they built the Vietnam Memorial for themselves by William Westmoreland. Please stand for the pledge, please. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now please help me welcome our President, Jaye Majors.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. And I don't think we actually have official guests, but we have a couple people who are just being signed up. So, I would like to hear from both of you again. I'm so thrilled you're back. So could you please, each one of you, stand up and tell us who you are, the rest of the group who may not know, and why you want to be part of our group.
Most of you guys remember me from before. I was part of the group probably, I don't know, a year ago, and I got a lot out of it, so I wanted to come back, and it's so great to see you all again. And this is my coworker Becca, I'm really proud of you.
All right.
My name is Becca. I work with Michann at Luxury Trips, and I'm the marketing manager there, so I do a lot of talking, and I'm here to improve my communication skills and become a better public speaker. So thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, so the first thing that I would like to do, we have a new member to bring into our fold. So we need to do a little voting on that. Charlie, could you do the honors?
Suspense.
Drama,
yeah.
Okay. So I would like to hear from the group.
I move that we accept Ashweisha's membership application and have her be a member of Central Florida Facilitators.
Second? Okay, do we have any discussion?
She's an amazing human being. She chose me for her mentor. She arrived on time, and we've already had our first session, so she's going to be good.
How did you pronounce her last name?
Ashweisha Adore.
Adore. Okay.
Baby Adore. So I vote yes. I highly recommend.
You vote yes? Okay.
I highly recommend.
If there's no further discussion, can we do a voting by our raise?
Call for it.
Can please raise your hands and say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Unanimous carried. Thank you. We are so happy to have you. Membership in Toastmasters is a privilege. The only way to gain the benefits of our program is to actively participate, which I know you will. Do you, as we adore, promise, I have a little list to read, to be an active member of the club, to attend meetings regularly, and you can miss sometimes, but we love to have you here, to prepare all of your speeches to the best of your ability, basing them on the projects in the Toastmaster Project Manual, to prepare for and fulfill meeting assignments, some of the other things that we might do, provide fellow members with helpful, constructive evaluations, to help the club maintain the positive, friendly environment necessary for all members to learn and grow, to serve the club as an officer when called upon to do so, which will be a while, to treat fellow club members and guests with respect and courtesy, to bring guests to club meetings so they can see the benefits of Toastmasters membership offerings, to adhere to the guidelines and rules of all Toastmasters educational and recognition programs, and maintain honest, highly ethical standards during the conduct of all Toastmasters activities. You can do all of that. Then you just said I do. To the club members, do you, the members of Central Florida Facilitators Club 998, promise to support Aswesia Adore as she works the Toastmaster program?
I do.
I do.
Absolutely.
It is my pleasure to declare you installed as a member of Central Florida Facilitators Club 9958 Toastmasters Club. As a symbol of our membership and our appreciation, I'm going to present you with this pen. They put it in armor today, which I expect you will wear proudly. Okay, here we go. Where would you like to? Now you're all pinned, and you're a member of the next week, we hope to have 2 more people that will be doing the same thing for. So be prepared for what to look forward to. Okay, let's see, I think that's about all that I have. I want to make a little bit of announcement about our elections that are coming up. We have a meeting this evening, and we're working on slating the officers. Again, if anybody wants to step up or is interested, we've got some suggestions already on the table, and we'll be hopefully firming that up this evening. If anybody's interested in being an officer, please let me or Toni or Gail know so we can get you in the process. I would really appreciate that. The other thing we've got coming up that's really important is our banquet. And it's been moved to June the 28th, considering some conflicts of our club members, as well as it was better for the facility here. So we're looking for people to step up to the plate to take the chair role or to help out with some of the other roles that we need for food and organizing, greeting people, etc. If anybody would like to do that, please let one of us know. So that's what I have to say, and now I would like to move forward into introduction. Introductions. You caught me off guard.
Always forward,
Always.
never backward.
All right. Theme, your voice, your voice. Her voice was heard. There was one vote cast by the administrative secretary. Our Toastmaster this evening, Gail Smith, was elected with this vote at the District 84 conference to be the 2017-18 Division D Director. She has huge shoes to fill come July 1st, 2017, when Jessica Guthrie, our current Division D Director, retires from this high-paid volunteer job. Her paycheck, new friends, new leadership skills, reinforced communication skills, and meeting her goal of leading our division to President's Distinguished. Gail hopes to meet standards Jessica has set, and with her voice, this voice, she will look to all CFF Toastmasters for their support to do just this. Welcome, Distinguished Toastmaster, Gail Hill Smith.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everyone. Before we get into the crux of this meeting this evening, there are some agenda adjustments. First of all, you can see, I pulled an old agenda, actually changed it, but I guess I didn't save it. So, please correct. It is today, May 24th, not February 10th. The theme is
It's also 2017.
2017. And the theme is your voice, your vote. Our first speaker has requested 7 to 9 minutes. Is that still correct? 6 to 8. And our second speaker has requested 8 to 10 minutes. That's correct. General Evaluator is Jaye Majors. The second Evaluator will be Jonathan Dunn. Everybody will record that. All right, now,
Wizard of Oz.
the wizard, yes, our functionaries. If our grammarian can tell us what the word of the day is and what his role is, please, Julian.
Can I tell you my role first, Madam Toastmaster?
You may.
I do, thank you. All right, as grammarian, I have 2 basic responsibilities. The first one is to provide a word of the day, and to my fellow Toastmasters and guests. In order to expand our vocabulary, I have chosen the word of the day, which is acerbic. Acerbic is a synonym. The synonyms of acerbic means sharp, sarcastic, sardonic, mordant, trenchant, cutting, razor edge, biting, piercing, stinging, searing, scathing, caustic, to name a few. Now, Gail, for an example, why don't you ask me, Julian, have a good day. Say,
Have a good day.
what's so good about it? That's acerbic.
Oh, okay.
All right, if you have an opportunity to speak, do your best to use the word of the day, and I will keep track of those who use the word of the day. Those who don't, I share one. I will charge you 25 cents. Now you're a member. You don't use the word of the day, 25 cents. And it adds up. Guests and members who have not yet given their icebreaker, dog it, will not be fined. Got you off the hook. I will also listen for colorful imagery and use of exceptional vocabulary and grammar, and I will suggest improvements in grammar as needed. Miss Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Julian. Our next functionary, Susan Morgan, as our timer. What will you be doing? And please explain with a less acerbic tone, please.
Yes, well, one of the skills that Toastmasters practice is expressing a thought within a specific time. As timer, I'm responsible for monitoring the time for each speaker in each meeting segment. I will operate the timing lights, indicating to each speaker how long he or she has been speaking. For our prepared speeches, to qualify for voting, speakers must not speak less than 30 seconds under their range minimum and not more than 30 seconds over their range maximum. I will turn on the green light at range minimum, the yellow light at mid-range, and the red light at range maximum. For table topic speakers, to qualify, speakers must speak at least 1 minute and no more than 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And for our evaluators to qualify, they must speak a minimum of 1 minute and 30 seconds and a maximum of 3 minutes and 30 seconds. I will try when I give my reports not to be acerbic, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Susan. Wizard of Oz, Toni Giddles, please. What are you gonna whiz about?
I want everybody to know I don't have an acerbic bone in my body. After the excitement of giving the inspirational message Friday night and the reception I got, I'm still flying high. As odd counter, my responsibility is to keep track of audible crutches, such as and double clutches, the repetition of a word, while the speaker searches for their next thought. I will also note sentences strung together with bridge words like and or so. I will sound the buzzer when any of these infractions are heard. The fine for each infraction is 10 cents. Guests and members who have not yet done their icebreaker will not be buzzed or fined, but I will keep track of the infractions. Please note that the buzzer is not meant to embarrass, but to give immediate feedback for an area that needs improvement. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And her first time in this position, a brand new member, Ashwija, will be our supervisor of elections. Please tell us what you've been doing this evening.
As board counter, I pick up your ballot for best speaker, best table topic speaker, best evaluator, and most improved speaker. I will tally the results for our award presentations at the end of the meeting, and I'll also pick up any comments you might have written for the speakers or any meeting participant, and deliver the comments to the appropriate person. Thank you, Madam President.
Your voice is so sweet. For the sake of time, I am going to bypass some comments right now to get right into the crux of our portion of the meeting, which is the speakers. And I too left the lectern unattended and need the introduction. Our first speaker is in love with today's meeting theme, your voice, your vote, as it is so important that each one of us does their part in making this club our club, an even more awesome place to take it to the next level of awesomeness. It is our prerogative that we make sure our voice gets heard, be it in the workplace, Central Florida Facilitators, or at your home. Because if we don't ask, The answer is always no. In his speech today, he is sharing 2 short stories with us and is attempting to convey a message that might resonate with many of us. Give it up and welcome Toastmaster Pardeep Jindal.
A lazy man goes to the church and prays to God. God, I need a break. I need to win the state lottery. Please help me, God. But nothing happens for a week. He goes back to the church and prays again. God, about the state lottery thing, I have been a nice man. I have been nicer to my wife and kids. Please give me a break. Help me win the lottery. Nothing really happens another week, so he comes back to church. God, it doesn't look like I'm getting through the state lottery thing. Just so you know, I have been a better man last couple of weeks. I have been using hypnotism to help people achieve their dreams for the last 20 years. I've been helping them be a better version of themselves. I'm attending Toastmaster meeting every week. And I'm also helping wounded warriors so they are a better person. So please help me, God. Give me a break. Help me win the lottery. At that point, the heavens open and the music and light suddenly flood the church. And a deep voice comes up. Son, give me a break. Buy a damn lottery ticket. So Madam Toastmaster and dear friends, as you can tell from this story, he was a very lazy man. He was looking to win a lottery ticket, though he never, he was looking to win a lottery, though he never bought a lottery ticket. When I was growing up in India, as you can tell from my British accent, I heard a similar story about another lazy man that I would share with you. So this lazy man was very lazy, and he would always look for a easier way to get through the life, to feed himself or do the minimum to get through life. Once he was searching for the food, and he saw this huge, beautiful farm which had lots of apples, bananas, and mango trees. So he looked around and could not find anybody who was guarding the farm. So he thought he could steal a few fruits. He entered into the farm, and while he was climbing on the tree, he saw a huge farmer running towards him. And guess what? He already had a big stick. So he got afraid and started running for his life. So while he was running, he saw a forest nearby and entered into the forest to hid himself. And he remained there for a while, and when the sun was getting dark, the day was getting over, he decided to get out of the forest. And he saw something very strange in the forest. It was a fox, which was not very strange. What was strange was the fox was crippled and was crawling on 2 legs, happily. So the man was thinking, he had just 2 legs, how can he even feed himself? Or even survive in such a dangerous place, given all that exists in the wild. When he was thinking all of this, all of a sudden, he sees a lion coming towards the fox. So all the animals were really scared for their life, and they started running. And the man was scared himself, so he climbed on a tree to save his life. What he saw was very, very surprising. So the lion walked to the fox. The lion had a piece of meat in his mouth. And what he did was, he left the piece of meat for the fox and walked away without hurting the fox. So the man was very happy looking at God's play in practical life. And he really thought God has created everything, and he has set a plan for everything that he has created. And he was sure that God has a great plan for himself too. So what he decided was, he decided to go to a village and he sat there with the hope that somebody would feed him, just like somebody did feed the fox. So the day went by and nobody really came to feed him. Another day, and then he lost hope. He was like, nobody's really coming to feed me, and the hunger was really making him frustrated, so he decided to leave the village. And at that point, he met the sage, and he talked to him about all that had happened over the last few days. So the sage asked him to take some rest, and he offered some food and water. So after he consumed this food, he told the sage, hey, God has such a great plan even for a crippled fox. Why is God so cruel on me? Because he didn't do anything for me. And the sage smiled. He said, son, I'm sure God has a plan for you because you are his creation. But you have seen his sign in the wrong way. What I think is, God doesn't want you to be the fox. He wants you to be the lion. And friends, from this story, the message I get is that God has given each one of us enough power, enough capacity to help those around us. We can either be a fox or we can be a lion and help those or feed those who cannot feed themselves. And Albert Einstein said it so nicely that a life lived for others is worth living. And Martin Luther King really summed it up so nicely where he said the most important and most persistent question in life is what you are doing to help others. So the choice remains with us, whether we want to be a fox, whether we want to become a lion, or we want to be like the man in the church who wanted to win a lottery without even getting a ticket. The choice is ours. Thank you. Madam.
Thank you, Pardeep. May we have a minute on the clock, please? You write notes on the perforated form in front of you for Pardeep. Thank you. Our next speaker writes that he wrote his first computer program on the Atari 800 when he was in 5th grade, and then later graduated to his Commodore 64, which occupies many, many memories with him, as well as occupying the shelf in his garage. Stephen earned his Bachelor of Science degree in Engineering Science and his Master of Science degree in Computer Engineering from the University of Florida. He's been a full-time Java developer for 20 years with several companies, including Harris Corporation, AAA, ObjectSpace, Intervoice, Convergys, Voxio, Computer Associates, Apple, and Johnson & Johnson. Stephen has also taught Java and C++ as an adjunct professor at Seminole State College. From his 30 years of experience with hypnosis and NLP, and his avid participation in Toastmasters for 18 years, Stephen has picked up a few ideas about engaging an audience, including when to have an asterisk command, a cervic command. Here to share what he has learned, please help welcome Stephen Morgan.
Look, Stephen, I know you've been trying to figure out this issue and we haven't been able to do anything about it, but OnStar needs it fixed. And they're demanding that you fix it, and we've got to fix it for them. So we're going to be sending you up to Detroit to help figure out how to fix their problem, because they think it's us. We're going to have you go. It's a one-way ticket, because quite frankly, until it's fixed, you're not coming back. That was my manager, Chris. That was not what I was expecting to be doing that morning. I had ideas of working on other aspects to our projects, but that was now all scuttled, because I was getting on a flight. And I had no idea what I was going to be doing, or when I was ever coming home. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, our future members again. This is a story about being in a high-pressure situation where I did manage to pull out an incredible result with the most incredible amount of luck. When I got to Detroit, I go to OnStar. Now, who remembers what OnStar was? A few of you still do remember that. Good. This was in the year 1999. Who owned OnStar? Yes, it was? You remember who owned OnStar?
Who owned it now?
GMC?
General Motors.
Yes.
GMC. Where was General Motors
Detroit.
in 1999 on the Fortune 500? It was number one, the highest market capitalization. This is the biggest company in the world, and OnStar is their pet project. They have a problem. I'm in this little dinky 50-person company. They think it's our problem. I'm the one being sent to go fix it. Okay, now you get the idea of how high pressure this was. I come to OnStar's headquarters. I am put down next to their chief architect. His name is Ty. Ty has obviously a lot on his shoulders because they are trying to deploy the first automated voice help system in their cars. I have heard what this problem has been. I've been hearing them talk about it for several months. We have been trying to recreate it back in my office, and we can't. We cannot make it happen. It just seems that every so often, everything slows down in their network. And our piece is part of the network communications, which is why they think it's our fault. Or at least our fix anyhow. I'm asking Ty, what do you know? What can you tell me? He's going, we don't know why it starts. We only know that when it starts, everything just starts slowing down slower and slower until it gets to the point that everything just grinds to a halt. We don't know how to start it. We can't predict it. But we need it to stop. For that day, Ty and I are sitting there looking at code, trying to recreate the situation, and can't. The next day I come back in, I am trying to do the same thing again. And then all I can do is try to figure out how do you, the term is called shoebox. Shoebox the problem. Find a way to at least eliminate all these possibilities so your window gets smaller, your shoebox just keeps getting smaller if you can keep eliminating possibilities. And I can't eliminate anything at all. Because it could be anything at this point. I can't even say it's us. But after we've been doing this for 3 days, now my coworker Tom is coming out. The next week he arrives. I've been there a week and can figure nothing. And you know how frustrating it is to sit at this desk looking at the computer just trying to create a problem? I am an engineer, I like to solve the problems. I don't like to create them, but if you can show me them, I'll find a way to fix them. Tom arrives, and he and I are just doing the same thing we always have been doing, trying to hammer out what creates the problem. He usually works customer support. He's the one who shows me how the problem is working. I'm the one to come find out, okay, now here's the solution. But we can't do it. Ty can't do it. Tom can't get it to work. I can't get it to work. And 2 more days have gone by. 7 now. And I don't know when I'm going home. It was on the next day, Wednesday, that somebody happened to walk into the room and tell us, it's starting to happen right now. Tom, quick, just grab every piece of information you can off any computer that's on the network. We're going to grab everything. We're just grabbing every diagnostic we can do. We don't care about what the problem is yet. We just want the information. We can figure it out later once we've got the information. For 2 hours, we just grab all the information we can, and finally looking through it, we realize the reason the problem's happening, there's a computer on this network that they're trying to connect, all the other computers are trying to connect to. It's not answering, they keep trying, and as they keep trying, they keep taking more resources away, trying to connect to this computer that's not responding. That's what's slowing it down. Found the problem. It is us. And I can say, Ty, okay, here's what the problem is. That computer's not responding. All we need to do is just stop trying to contact it. That's really easy to do. You can just make this one simple change. And all I have to do is go into the code and make the change. And I realize it's just one call I have to make into the core of the system. And then I go and look. And I can't make the call because what I'm looking for doesn't exist. Which makes no sense to me, because this is like, from a computer science standpoint, this is like brain dead, something that's existed for 20 years. Should be there. And Ty's looking at going, I don't get it either. And I point out to Tom, no. Sun Microsystems, at the time, was the one who owned the job. And that was what we're working on. I can't find this call that they should make available. I go online to try and find out information. Okay, this is a little pre-Google, but same idea. And I discover other people have had this problem, have reported this very problem. And it's been sitting there for at least 2 years, and all Sun has done is said, meh. Ty, I don't get it. I mean, this should be an obvious, simple thing right there. And Ty is going, I would have made the same mistake. That should be there. Putting on my engineer's cap and figuring out, okay, I can't do the obvious solution, I have to make another one. I go and build some other hack of a solution I shouldn't have to do, but I can do it. And it works, it solves the problem. I get to go home, and OnStar's problem was solved. Not too happy the fact that it was us and we should have been able to deal with it, but we figured it out and got it done. I get home Thursday to get into the office come Friday. Friday morning, I get a call at my desk. Well, this is from Sun Support. And you're having a problem with the sockets there, what we're dealing with there, and you need a solution we can help you with. This is what I wanted to be usurping, honestly. I want to tell him you should have figured it out a long time ago. It's like, I already had to write a solution and I'm okay, but you should find a way to make this possible for us. Because it's been sitting there for 2 years. Come to find out, Ty is the chief architect of the pet project of the biggest company in the world. Tells his VP above him what the problem was and that we couldn't do it because of Sun. See, his VP apparently plays golf with Scott McNeely, who was CEO of Sun. He gets this word and it starts promulgating down through their hierarchy till it goes through however many VPs or directors till it hits their customer support and they're calling me in a panic. It's a fascinating feeling to get one of the biggest companies in the world to give you a knee-jerk reaction. But the best part of all of it is that Todd got it into his mind that we helped solve the problem, that we became the miracle problem solvers. And we had solved the problem beautifully for him, and finally pointed out it was someone else's fault. And my customer service manager absolutely thought I walked on water. That was wonderful. And he's still my best recommendation today. Madam Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters, keep your stories and use them. That story got me many jobs.
Thank you, Stephen. We could have a minute on the clock, please, Susan. You write your comments for Stephen, please. Great, thank you. Now, may we have a report? How did our speakers do?
Pardeep was 6 to 8 minutes, and he spoke 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Stephen was 8 to 10 minutes, he spoke 10 minutes and 30 seconds on the dot, so he qualified. Both of our speakers qualified.
Collusion! Wait a minute. Collusion with the wife.
I'm a backup timer. I was watching.
Oh, you were?
Okay, actually,
She's
you
disqualified during contests. She really thinks she's gonna stop.
Our studio will come around and collect your vote for whom you felt did the best job in meeting their objectives, and any comments that you might have to offer. While that is taking place, our schedule indicates we should be starting table topics 2 minutes ago. I again will bypass these comments so that we can have our table topic master come up and entertain us. Our table topic master for this evening is Renee Taylor. Tonight, someone described her as the elusive butterfly, and she liked it. Don't be surprised if you'll see it on a t-shirt she will wear. Please help welcome our table topic master tonight, Renee Taylor.
Thank you, fellow Toastmasters. Unfortunately, Gail hasn't had a chance yet to present her topic for this evening, your voice, your vote, and I've kind of based my questions on that topic. So, I know she wanted to talk about Memorial Day. Memorial Day is a holiday for remembering those whom have died while serving in the armed forces. Other than having the day off, how will you celebrate these heroes on this day? Julian.
To the chagrin of my wife, I spent all weekend watching the military channel, all the war movies, Torah, The Longest Day with John Wayne, and all the big movie stars of the day. I have seen every documentary dealing with World War II that there is to see more than 5 times. I am a World War II renowned expert. I can tell you everything about every battle, why it was fought, and what caused them to win. And I'll tell you what caused the American military to win World War II. One of the biggest things, and we might have lost it. We were well armed, no doubt about it. We were one of the best armed soldiers on the field. But the American military had the ability to think on their feet. While the Germans were sitting there waiting for Hitler to tell them if they should deploy their Tiger tanks, when D-Day is happening and the man is sleeping and nobody dares to wake the Fuhrer up, we were advancing. We were winging it. We were making plans outside of the, when you make a plan and it doesn't work, you try something else. The Japanese didn't do that. Neither did the Germans. But the Americans had the liberty to take action when they were in the field. And I'm not sure that we can do that today. Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you. Martin Luther King said, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." If given the opportunity, what injustice would you speak out against? Gail.
Madam Table Topic Master, I am going to defer this question to one of our other Toastmasters who doesn't have a major role. And I would like to see if Michann would like to take that topic. Michann.
Thank you, Gail. Madam Table Topics Master and fellow Toastmasters and guests. One of the injustices that I would like to see get more attention would be human trafficking. Firstly, it's something that I've always felt very strongly about. It's something that I donate to. I don't really know what caused me to have such a strong passion for it. I don't know anybody who's been personally affected by it, but it affects so many more people than people realize. I was very happy to see that Ivanka Trump has been speaking about it in the White House. That's very encouraging because for the number of people that it affects, what do you think? Human trafficking is the 3rd largest criminal industry in the world. There are billions and billions of dollars that are spent on it, and for it to get such little attention to me is really disturbing. So I'm very, very happy to see that it's finally getting more awareness. Thank you.
There are several reality shows that allow contestants or the main participant to vote people off the island or out of the house. If your family was a reality show, who would you vote out of the family? Our beautiful guests in the white clouds with the bun.
Thank you, Madam. If I had to, if my family was on a reality TV show and we had to vote one person off, I would vote for my mother so that she could go home and relax and not have to be on the show anymore. We know how stressed out she would be, and she would much prefer to watch the show from home rather than be there and participating in the excruciating activities that happen, especially on Survivor, for example. And that's it. Thank you.
Standard Rock and Flint, Michigan have made the headlines for their fight for clean water or to preserve their water source. Is clean water a right or a privilege? Susan.
Well, I think that it is a right. I think it's a basic human right that we should have clean water. And if we have a government that we have helping us for all of our other things that we do, then water should just be one of those things. If the government didn't do anything for anyone, then okay, maybe water wouldn't be a big priority. But since we do a lot of things, I think water should be a very high priority because people can't live without water. If we don't have good water, we get diseases, we go crazy. You can go crazy if you don't have enough water. So I think that it is a basic human right and that we should totally have clean water. Thank you, Topics Master.
Okay. There are 7 people stranded on an island. A professor, movie star, a millionaire husband and wife, a woman named Michann, the skipper of the ship, and his shipmate Julian. If you could vote to rescue one of them from the island, who would you vote for? Toni.
I'm into billionaires now. I could use a billionaire sugar daddy. I would totally rescue whatever his name is.
Mr. Howell.
Mr. Howard? Howell. Mr. Howell would become my best friend. I would follow him around and I would have him follow me around. He would probably end up a guest at Toastmasters. I'm sure that he has a lot of stories to tell, particularly about his time on the island. I would introduce him to my little backyard paradise where we would sip margaritas and watch the sunset and become very, very close friends. I'm sure there are many other activities we could be involved in. I would totally like to know how to make a lot of money, and I'm sure that he could be very, very helpful with that information. He would become one of my mentors, a favorite mentor, I am very sure. And anything that he would like to learn from me, particularly about public speaking, I would be glad to share with him. Madam Table Topics
Tom, we have to go to our timers report.
Yes. All right, Julian spoke about the military network for 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Michann spoke about human trafficking for 58 seconds. Almost made it. And Becca, you spoke about voting your mother off the show for 43 seconds. And I spoke for 1 minute and 3 seconds about water. And Toni spoke 1 minute and 18 seconds about Mr. Howell, Mr. Billionaire. So it would be Julian,
Susan or Toni that you can vote for tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. She wants to flutter away and be elusive. Thank you for greeting me up here at this lectern. Okay, so we can stay on time. One of the main reasons I know I come to Toastmasters anymore is for the evaluations. We learn so much on how to improve our speaking abilities and communication abilities. Our general evaluator writes that she thinks of love, her first thought is a beautiful daughter, followed by her kittens. All give her unconditional love and bring joy to her daily life. Life is about love, and our general evaluator is happy to have a full life filled with such. Please help me welcome Advanced Communicator Bronze, Jaye Majors, our Presidente.
Good evening again, everyone. We move now into what is termed the educational part of the evening, where we reflect on what has been going on, where we try to give some guidance to our speakers. We have evaluators that will be coming up, trying to help our speakers highlight their good points and give them a few pointers to be able to improve on. So this is a really great part of the evening. After they're done, we'll get the times. We'll see who's going to come out on that, and then I will give a little evaluation of what I believe the meeting, how the meeting went. We'll hear from our functionaries, etc. as well. So let me choose our first evaluator. He has been a Toastmaster for 9 years and has participated in many functions. He has been a treasurer, sergeant at arms, VP of Public Relations, and served as president twice. One of his favorite functions, however, is being an evaluator, as it gives him the opportunity to point out the great things the speaker has done and also suggest a couple of things to enhance the speaker's next speech. Please help me welcome Charlie Bombalier as he evaluates Pardeep Jindal.
Madam General, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and guests, and especially Pardeep. Let me begin by stating that I'm never a survey when given an evaluation. So relax, because quite frankly, this was one of the best speeches I have ever heard you do. And here's why. A, you started strong, and you stayed strong. You had excellent examples, and you turned it also into humorous example, which was great. You really caught us off guard at the end. B, you slowed your speech, and it was so much more effective when you slow your speech down. That's the best that I've heard you do so far. You also pause more often, giving the audience time to reflect on your words. If I may suggest a couple of observations for you that may help you in your next speech, you may consider when you start your speech, if you're going to go to the front, begin in the front of the lectern before you start speaking. Don't walk, because that's a little bit distracting. And B, at the end of the speech, stand where you're at and acknowledge the Toastmaster and wait till they come to you and shake hands. Having said that, Your objectives were met. Your objectives were to tell a folk tale that is enjoyable to the audience, and it was. And I like the inflection at the end of some words that you used. You lowered your voice at the end of the word. Also, I noticed facial expression. Your body language and voice were much stronger because you were much more comfortable with speaking now. And you can tell the way that you gave your speech and your mannerisms. You never failed to have eye contact with the audience. I've never seen you not see every person one at a time. Pardeep, it is a pleasure to hear your speeches as you're entertaining, you're informative, and you're humorous. And I can't wait for your next speech. A job well done. Madam General Evaluator.
All right. Now let's move along to our next evaluator. The energy of love is the amazing ability to elevate. Here to elevate the speech of Stephen with a loving evaluation, please welcome Jonathan Dunn.
Look, fellow Toastmasters, kind of yes, especially you, Stephen. I would certainly be being a servant if I ever told you, don't come back, because you have so many gifts to lend to the club. But what we are going to do tonight, as I know you probably guessed, we are going to go back to the fundamentals, take that speech, not from good to great, because you're already pretty great, but we're going to take it to simply fabulous by exploring the fundamentals. We're going to start out, Stephen, with that structure of yours, and I know that's something you study deeply. Stephen started us out really by painting the picture of the scene in his office when he was told he was going to Detroit and potentially never coming back. Now, why might he never be coming back? And to me, this was really the root of your story. It was kind of a David versus Goliath thing, in that you were a man from a small company who admittedly didn't have the skills necessary to get this huge problem fixed with the #1 company on the Fortune 500, but you found yourself in that position. And I think every one in the audience has pretty much found himself in a position like that at some point. Like a fish on the end of a line, you had us hooked. And then you closed us down really with kind of a twist ending for me. It wasn't really the point I thought you were going to make about keeping your stories, because they get you jobs, they advance you in life. Once again, it's a great thing about being in this club. It really will help you move forward in your life. I will tell you this, if I could offer you one thing to build on. I know it was a very low energy situation you were walking into there, and you were acting out a very low energy situation. And I really don't even have the solution, but if there was just any way you could have spiced that up a little bit. And maybe foreshadowed a little bit to us what we were going to be getting out of this speech. Because I found that perplexing until I knew exactly what was going on. As far as the content goes, I want to stay focused in on the objectives of the speech. You obviously learned the elements of good storytelling. For those of you in the room that don't know what those are, he built a plot, he built a climax, he developed characters, he used great descriptive words, and we were able to picture the characters, so you did a great job on that. One little bit to feed on. There was really a hero and a villain in that story, You were obviously going to be the hero. The big Fortune 500 company probably could have been a little bit stronger of a villain. Lastly, the delivery. In modern day culture, the word bae is used to describe a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I use it to describe a trifecta that all speeches have to have. B, body language, A, appearance, and E, eye contact. Stephen nailed it. Just would like to have seen a little bit more energy. Stephen, look forward to seeing you again in the near future. Madam General Evaluator.
Those were two great evaluations. Susan, do you have the timing?
I do indeed. Charlie spoke for 2 minutes and 56 seconds, so he qualifies, and Jonathan spoke for 3 minutes and 27 seconds, so he qualifies. Cool. I think Jonathan and Stephen were trying to push the envelope a little tonight. Yeah.
Always.
Looks like they were.
Me pushing it.
All right, well, it's time for me to talk a little bit about the meeting, and I want to say, first of all, that I thank Gail for actually really trying to keep us on time and paying attention to that. We've had several conversations about that over the last number of weeks, and she even dispensed with Toastmasters with her Toastmaster verbs to keep us on time. We did have some extra things in our meeting tonight with bringing in Aswesia, and of course that took a little bit more time than maybe we expected. And I'm glad that we took that time. So I appreciate the attitude that Gail had of going ahead and moving forward with other aspects of the meeting so we could get to something like table topics, which for me is one of the most fun parts of the meeting, and it allows more people to participate, to stand up and start getting a little taste of speaking, even if it's just for a minute. So I appreciate that whole attitude from all of you there. Overall, our meetings are, I think, trying to go in the direction of improving. We do have a fabulous facility, as you all know, and they have been very supportive, and I want to mention that in case some of you don't really understand that. And we have communication whenever we're planning an event with them and get a lot of support. So that's also something that I think is important as our club goes. I enjoyed the speeches tonight in particular, and I really am able to take a lot from them, so I thank you all. Now, can we move along to where are we?
Functionaries.
Where are the functionaries, and who do we want to hear from?
I think you might be the one you want to get first.
Yeah. So, let's shut that Toni up back there. No. Actually, where are we? Let's hear from Toni.
The iconners report. Charlie, 2 double clutches, 2 ands for a total of 4. John, 0. Jaye, 2 ums, 2 ands, 1 so for a total of 5. Becca, 1 3 ands for a total of 4. Aswesia, I have 0. Julian, 1 double clutch, 1 and for a total of 2. Renee, 0. Gail, 1 and. Pardeep, 1 1 double clutch. 7 ands and 5 so's, and they happen at the beginning of your sentence. Stephen, 1 and. Susan, 0. Michann, 1 so. Right there.
Now let's hear from Julian.
Thank you, Madam President. Colorful phrases, good and poor grammar usage. Well, to start with, Gail Hill-Smith now wants to be known as GHS. So no longer none of this Gail, GHS. 'Cause it's and she said she fluttered away and be loose. That was so artistic. Stephen Morgan, a one-way ticket to Detroit. Back in the 90s, that was scary. We don't know how to find it. Can't predict it. Shoebox the product. Never heard that one. Susan Morgan. You go crazy if you don't have clean water. I guess I know a lot of crazy people out there. I can understand. Toni Giddles. She's into billionaire sugar daddy, baby. All right. And John Dunn. So many gifts. David and Goliath, like a fish on a line, you had me hooked, babe. Oh, the word of the day. Wait. The word of the day. GHS is the word of the day. Susan Morgan, Toni Giddles, Charlie Bombalier, and Jaye, did you say the word of the day?
I don't believe I did.
Okay, then you were not.
I did.
You did? Yeah. Stephen Morgan, that's right, you did, Stephen Morgan. Oh, I did have it, I just thought it said Susan Morgan. Stephen Morgan, yeah. You did catch the word of the day right at the beginning.
Most improved votes? Oh, we're just collecting those now.
And do we have our charts to go ahead and look at where we are for next week?
Possibly schedule right here. Yes, we do. What is going on? We need a Toastmaster. That is empty. However, Thought and Pledge, Jaye Majors, Educational Moment, Pardeep. We have 3 speakers, Stephen Morgan, Jonathan, and myself. Table Topics is Charlie. General Evaluator will be Susan. We need 3 evaluators for the 3 speakers. Supervisor of Elections, Pardeep. The odd counter, Michann. All right, girl, you go. Grammarian is empty. Timer, Matthew, and unavailable is Renee at this moment. Toni.
It's my mom's birthday next week, and I wondered if I could take a speaking slot for this morning. I was supposed to speak this week.
That would be
No.
Stephen, Jonathan, and me.
That's fine.
I need mine for the prep.
Alright. I'll be there.
Okay, I pushed my speech back from 2 weeks ago for today. But we'll negotiate. We need a Toastmaster. I don't want to do Toastmaster again.
I'll be an evaluator.
Okay, Julian.
I suggest Pardeep for that.
All right, Pardeep.
Yeah, I'm a supervisor.
No. Pardeep, I'll do either
You're
evaluator or
evaluating. There you are.
Dude, you're already the advanced
Dude.
manuals.
You're already a CC. It's great practice.
Okay.
It's great practice.
Julian is saying I'll do it.
Yeah, Pardeep is gonna be an evaluator.
Okay, I've got 3 evaluators now, Julian, Pardeep, and Jaye. However, Pardeep is an evaluator, we'll need a supervisor of elections.
I'm sure you can fill that one.
I'm sure we can, and a grammarian, and a Toastmaster. Jonathan, will you be with us next week?
Yeah, let's make
You're
sure.
gonna be a speaker.
He's gonna do it via Skype.
I would do
Now,
supervisor.
Toni for
Get
Toastmasters.
another evaluator. I want to be.
Toni, would you want to be Toastmaster? Or do you have a real inkling for
That's
a
fine.
speaker?
I'll do it. That's
Okay,
fine.
all right.
Then you can talk about her the whole meeting that you go.
And somebody can evaluate me.
Very good. And I know that Jaye has already mentioned this, but you see the added value I put onto the schedule tonight, which is our awards and installation. We need a chairman. We've got Toni, who's going to be coordinating all the awards and the speakers, which is a big piece, but we need a chairman to arrange for a keynote and to help coordinate the overall meeting. You need it for your CL. It is also great leadership training. We can help with keynotes, I know I can, got contacts.
I'll let you know.
Okay, very good.
We're gonna be out in 2 meetings.
So Ms. Gail,
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
quick question for those of us who are new, what exactly is the event on June 28th?
June 28th is our award and installation banquet. It is part of our culture in this club, not every club does it, but every 6 months after elections, we have a big banquet. We invite lots of people, we try to fill this room with guests and of course members and all. We deinstall the current members and install the newly elected officers. And the keynote speaker is usually from outside the club. It's great fun. Okay, very good. Does anyone have any other announcements or any other business that we need to take care of? Something I was going to do as Toastmaster this evening was to bring to your attention our DCP, our Distinguished Club Plan. Right now, guys, I mean, give yourselves a huge round of applause and a whoop and a woo-hoo, because we are almost there to not only distinguished or select distinguished, but presidents distinguished. That is meeting 9 of the 10 goals. And if we process our 2 new members, we will meet that, we will be presidents. If we bring in one more competent communication.
I just gotta type it up, it's already done.
Competent communication?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Oh.
I wrote this and I realized you can't read it, so I gotta type it up. But they're all done, I mean, I double
Make a copy
checked.
the back of your book.
Okay.
Did you write it in the back?
You'll still need one more member.
Yeah.
Because a reinstated doesn't.
No,
count.
because
No,
we need
because we
20.
need to be at 20.
We need
Or we need
20.
nothing.
We're at 17.
Oh, my ear, you're right. Yes. Okay, guys. Then you will see on the schedule that went around, we have still another meeting where we are
I believe she's
focusing.
gonna bring in a new member.
Right.
She has friends. She
Yeah.
has friends.
Okay, because we have one more big push, membership push on June 14th.
How many do we need? 3?
So we need.
These 2 were 2 of the 3.
Oh, we
Yeah.
need one more.
One
We
more.
need one more, and then
Don't
we'll
stop
have
there.
all 10. Wow, that's awesome.
That'd be
Woo!
I'll get it done before next week.
Okay.
And Toni,
I just wanted to acknowledge Susan Morgan and Stephen Morgan, who are new area directors starting in July. They'll be
What?
overseeing some clubs in the area. But they will not be your area directors. They didn't choose you.
I did choose you, but
You
I
did?
wasn't.
Bob chose elsewhere.
Bob chose elsewhere.
And I was totally surprised when you stood up on Saturday. I had no idea that Stephen had been qualified or had put your name in for it. So
No,
that was
Bob
great.
called.
It's kind of hard to say, don't you?
All right, thank you.
for that announcement. All right, if there are no other announcements or events,
For next week. We're almost out of the award certificates, I don't know who's doing that.
well, it was our sergeant and our Kristen was doing them.
Right. Susan, do you have that on file? Can you send it to me?
All the officers.
Yeah, send it to me, I'll put it on. And water, who wants to buy some water for the club?
Oh, I can do that.
Okay, thanks, Gail. All right, thank you, Charlie.
Clean water?
And-
No
Yes,
water.
make sure it's clean water.
And who's gonna
Yes,
be, and,
and-
oh, I have a
Mexican
question.
water.
Have you spoken with Kristen and Richard?
I have not. I know.
So we may need a sergeant at arms next week.
Thank you.
Charlie, could you, thank you so much.
Okay, let's get to the awards. The first award is the Tim Chastain Award, and it's our club award, named after one of our original club leaders, club members. And it's going to someone who has gone above and beyond this week and will be in the weeks to come. The work that she's doing has landed her the spot as our district director. And I am awarding it, division director, I am awarding this to Gail S.
Yes.
Most Improved Award tonight, I wholeheartedly agree, Pardeep Jindal. Best table topics tonight, all about World War II. Julian. Best Evaluator tonight, Jonathan Dunn. Best Speaker Award goes to Stephen Morgan.